We are a generation that is power drunk. We think everything begins and ends with power. We can cut corners, we can compromise, but so long as we came for the prayer meeting and we prayed and people fell under the power, we think that is God's approval. Because we prophesied and called somebody's name, called a case that is accurate, we think that is God's seal of approval. Even the herbalist can do that. The native doctor can do that. By the agency of familiar spirits, he can give you details about your life and your destiny. So what makes the divide in the realm of the spirit is not the manifestation. What brings the divide in the realm of the spirit is the character of the spirit that a man carries and bears. Because you say you call names, you call phone numbers, you operate in the prophetic. Virtually every native doctor can do it. You say you minister to the sick and they are healed. There are many native doctors that can do it. So what will literally distinguish your ministry, it is the substance of character that you possess. And if truly we are leaders, then our focus and our emphasis must first of all be on character. And I quoted for us from John chapter 1 verse 11. He said he came unto his own knew him not. He came unto the world, although the world was made by him, but the world knew him not. He said, but as many as received him, to them he gave power not to cast out demons, power not to heal the sick, power not to raise the dead, but power to become the sons of God. So God is more interested in character formation, in integrity, than is interested in manifestation. In Daniel chapter 6 verse 4, the Bible revealed to us that the princes of Babylon gathered together and they sought an occasion against Daniel, and he said they didn't find one. Is it possible for a politician to be in office for as long as 65 years and you can't find one occasion of sin against him? And then you have been a fellowship president for 3 months and the volume of iniquity has already filled the cup. Church history revealed to us that Daniel was relevant for 65 years in Babylon and no occasion was found against him. How come I've only been in office for 4 months and I have broken a lot of rules already? Because there's no stamina, there's no integrity. And if in 4 months you are already qualified to be disqualified, then how long can you be there? That means the moment you graduate from school, you will go into oblivion, because nothing will be entrusted to you again. But that will not be your portion, because you will walk in uprightness and in integrity. And if you have made mistakes before, you will amend your ways before the Lord in the name of Jesus Christ. I told us yesterday, the greatest power that Daniel manifested in Babylon was not his sight. The greatest power that Daniel manifested in Babylon was not the fact that he was not eaten up by lions. Daniel was able to be upright in the midst of corruption. Babylon is mixture. Babylon is corruption. Babylon waits for you to mature before it deals with you. Egypt can arrest you before you mature, so you can understand that you are a babe. But Babylon will wait for you to become a prophet before it will bring you down. Babylon will wait for you to become an apostle before he brings you down. Babylon will wait for you to become a general overseer before it brings you down. For a man to survive Babylon, that man has character. You will use signs and wonders to defeat Egypt, but you will need character to defeat Babylon. The power of Daniel was not in his sight, it was in his character. And so even if you overcome Egypt, don't be in a rush to celebrate. If you have no character, Babylon can bring you down. Integrity, uprightness is too important in leadership. You can't be part of the army of God until it has been formed in your spirit. In 1 Samuel chapter 12 from verse 1 to 5, Samuel stood before Israel and told them, let one of you come out and accuse me if I have ever taken a lamb from you. That's a man who has served until he's old. He could challenge Israel. Let one, if one person can come out and say, I did one evil against you, then I cease to be a prophet of God. And not one man could accuse Samuel. See the kind of power the men of old had. We boast in our generation of opening blind eyes. We boast of raising dead men. And every time we talk about men of stature, all we can think of are the miracles. But in the days of old, the record that men had were records of integrity. A man can stand up and tell you at the end of his ministry, I never swindled a dime from anybody. I never took advantage of anybody. I never cheated anybody. I never lied to anybody. How can such testimony be the strength of this man? And we have a generation where it is impossible for men to stand up and walk in uprightness or state it. Every time you come, people say it's not easy. What is not easy? The same devil that was in their day is the same devil that is in our day. We need to wake up and tell ourselves, according as it is written, they have the same spirit of faith. We having the same spirit of faith, we believe and therefore we declare. It has even become a theology now that it is not possible to live without sin. It has become a theology now that it's not possible to live without falling. Where did we pick it from? Samuel said, I served all my life. I never offended anybody. He said concerning Moses, he was faithful in all of the house of God. Where did we pick it from that was impossible? He said, be ye holy as your heavenly Father is holy. The reason we have no power with all our revelation is because we lack integrity. We can preach the whole doctrine, explain the whole exegesis, yet nothing happens. Our generation must pick up and learn from the fathers and find out the secrets that they truly have. Why they don't seem to exert themselves so much, yet the outcome of their ministry is mind-blowing. When I walked into this redemption camp, I said to myself, can a man be this big a system? What makes a man become like this? I told myself, is this just prayer? Is this a gift? Is this just a prophetic gift? Is this the ability to explain the Bible that makes a man? You can imagine a man walks into a forest and builds his house there and it becomes a nation. You come into an auditorium and an auditorium is 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer, and then they said 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer have become small. I now said, what is the definition of small? 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer is small. What is the meaning of small? And then you move to 3 kilometers by 3 kilometers, and it's not been up to a decade, and you are now saying this place is not enough. What kind of magnitude is this? How can God trust one man with so much? What is he doing? You know, there are certain men, when you want to be proud and you remember them, you go and tell God, forgive me, forgive me. You know, when we go to meetings where there are 5,000 people, there are 7,000 people, there are 10,000 people, we feel as if God accepts us, we have arrived. I went for a meeting. The moment I entered, everywhere was packed. There were about 7 overflows. And when I knelt down, I said, Father, thank you. Thank you. Thinking that God is now helping me. I now walk into redemption camp. When I saw the auditorium alone and the chairs, I told God, I'm sorry for that prayer. The size alone is scary. I'm trying to imagine what we look like when the place is packed. And then they say this place is small. If this place is small, then we have to edit the meaning of small in every dictionary in the world, because small is not what small is. But when you find this man, there is a strength of character that even at old age they remain what they are. Even in the midst of power, they remain what they are. They have not changed from what they were 40 years ago. You will think it's because they were small, that's why they are like that. Today that they have literally become like gods among men, they are still the way they are. Still coming to minister and still kneels down the way he has done for more than 30 years. Still talking with the same humility, the way he has spoken, the way he was when he had nothing. If we build an auditorium of 5,000, our move, the way we walk will change. The way we talk will change. So not much can be committed. Because you are fellowship president. When you are walking into the meeting, there's a way you wait for everybody to sit down. When you are coming, you are commanding everybody. You don't even smile again. You now come into fellowship like somebody that came from the third heaven. You came from the third heaven. And you are fellowship president. You didn't even labor to gather the people. The people are gathering because of the man who is not in that university. If they change the name of that fellowship from Redeem, your stature will go down. And then you walk into the fellowship. God needs to help us. And I'm included, because it's a plague of our generation. That's why we can't receive much. There's no strength of character. And you will not appreciate character until you are in warfare. Because when the devil wants to deal with you, he will not challenge your doctrine. When the devil wants to deal with you, he will not challenge your manifestation. He will find out your lifestyle, the one in the secret. Because he knows if that one is wrong, he can destroy everything. That means your character is superior to your manifestation. Because if the devil can fault your lifestyle, all he needs to do is to bring it to the public, and he will allow men to judge. And you will be shocked that everything you have will spiral into oblivion. Because the foundation of a lasting ministry is character. I don't know why I had to emphasize this, but it's worth paying attention to. Number 3 is diligence and faithfulness. In this kingdom, for us to truly make the right and the needed impact, we must constantly be promoted. You can't afford to stay around one mountain for too long. Thank God for where you were, but you can't remain there. If you remain there, you cannot make any impact in your world. Your work with God must translate to physical and visible promotions. There were things, I can assure you, that this ministry will have vigils to change in 1980. Today, they don't even need to tell that the GO. There are men that will speak, it will happen. There are things that the whole of this ministry 40 years ago, we have to embark on a 3 days fast to be able to change. Today, if Daddy Gio makes a call, that thing will be changed, because there have been promotion. If your walk with God does not translate to visible promotion, you can't make impact. You can call yourself an army, you can call yourself a lion, but it will not show until promotion becomes a natural byproduct of our walk with God. We cannot truly make impact in this realm. But one of the cardinal force that makes for promotion is diligence and faithfulness. In Proverbs 22 verse 29, it said, seest thou a man? Because these are universal laws. If that man can be diligent, it is a must that he will be promoted. If a man is diligent in his business, without all contradiction, or with every contradiction, that man must walk in the corridor of nobles. He said he will stand before kings and not before men. Whatever it is that God has committed to your hand, you must sustain the fortitude to continually service it, because therein lies your promotion. A lot of men, God has given to them graces, ministries, and kingdom responsibilities. They leave those things and they are pursuing men and pursuing things. It may look as if you are going forward for a season. After a while, you will discover that you didn't make any progress. God may give you a simple ministry of attending to the poor. Every other thing you do may be important, but if you are not diligent to service that ministry, after a while he will look for somebody else. Your greatness is tied to the consistency and the diligence in paying attention to your assignment. A man cannot be promoted unless he becomes diligent. You can be in a fellowship and you are just a cleaner in the fellowship. You can be more ranking with God than the fellowship president, because where you are today is just a testing ground. The fellowship president may not be diligent about it. He's the one coming to minister. He has no time to read the Bible. He has no time to pray. But the guy who is the cleaner will come to church before everybody, clean the seats. While he's cleaning, he's singing and praising God. And he will do that for the 4 years that he's in the university. The fellowship president, who looks as if he's higher than that cleaner, but does not pay attention to the word, does not pay attention to prayer, he just throws up and say whatever he feels like and go. When they leave the university, check 10 years later, you will be shocked that that cleaner that nobody in the fellowship will remember may become the national youth president of RCCG. And then you are wondering what happened. Is diligence. Where you will be tomorrow is at the mercy of your diligence today. So every vision God shows you will not materialize unless as you pay attention to the assignment he has committed to you today. The assignment today may look simple and ignoble, but it is the basis for your promotion. If you want to be where you will be tomorrow, then you must give all diligence to what you are doing today. I tell you the truth, one of the greatest crises of our generation is that young people are not committed to anything. We come for everything late, we come for everything unprepared, including our studies. Somebody is studying sociology and is on 1.9. His whole lecture note is 10 pages and he's doing 7 courses. That's 70 pages. He can't read it in 4 months and pass exam. And that person is saying we will change our world. That's a lecture note you can sit on and read in 2 hours and make an A. But the person is with it for 4 months, he's still failing. And then that's a person who is hoping that he will take charge. Hope you know that God's servant has a PhD in mathematics, hydrodynamics. That's not child's play. It has to do with a lot of equation and a lot of algorithm. If you are not diligent with natural things, who told you you can be diligent with spiritual things? Natural things are 1,000 times easier than spiritual things. I heard when he was sharing, he said he's the first PhD holder in mathematics from the University of Lagos. That means they were pioneering generation. They were studying the course with the lecturers. Because when you are a pioneer, all of you are exploring it together. They will use you to determine the standard of that department. Nothing is easy. Everything easy can amount to nothing. But I tell you, we are so used to wearing ties and suit. That's all we know to do. You will be shocked that 80 to 90% of the leaders that you see today in church have not read the Bible.